Good evening and welcome to this episode of Tetrakey TV, which I hope is coming to you courtesy of Be Live. Not too sure. Mark, did it all seem to work for you?
I've got a big red flashy live sign on my screen, so that's got to be a good sign.
Jeepers. So I guess that must mean that we're live.
We might as well talk then.
Yeah, I guess we should. And I think this is episode number 143. So I guess we're getting pretty close. 117 left to go in 2017.
Yeah, and I think probably do another 2 tomorrow each, I reckon. Well, one during the day and one in the evening again.
Yep, something like that. So that's us. Apologies in advance for really bad internet this evening. I don't know what's going on, but we keep struggling with effectively I speak and then Mark hears me about 15 seconds later or something like that. So, Mark, this evening's topic
your lips and what your lips moving and your voice saying.
Blimey. I'm going to keep it going then. So the idea of this evening was to talk about the concept of reward and recognition as two separate entities, or maybe as the same thing. And it was your idea, Mr. Hopkins. What was your idea behind?
So I did a Facebook Live today as well this morning around why do we have to reward everything? And it was around my son's assembly and this lady trying to basically bribe kids to do a competition by the thought of winning a tablet and she actually even announced how much the tablet is worth, which, considering the audience is 6, 7, 8, and 9, just filled me with despair. But it led me again to a further conversation with the client today around communication for a movement of personnel as reward for somebody else. And I just feel it is a very pertinent topic. Prize for winning it, and now we are debating as a club how to spend that prize money. And it's always interesting when the discussions around reward and recognitions, and you reminded me of so I was working for a big insurance group in Vietnam, and they had help open businesses. And I remember going to one business, and for the life of me, I can't remember where it was in Vietnam. And I ended up going into this agent's into the living room, and I sort of wondered what's going on, and you could see he starts grabbing me by the arm, prudential, acknowledging this agent as an elite agent and what she's done. And it was just the power of the husband being so proud of his wife. And the first thing he wanted to do was show me this certificate about what his wife had achieved and stuff. And 9 times out of 10, especially in the Western world, money is used to pay off debts, let's be honest. So you get a chunk of change, and probably what you normally do, which is sound financial advice, is the first thing you always do is you pay off debts, because they're probably carrying the most interest. So you work for a company that reminds you, so the company in my mind gets zero value from that money. Like that husband showed off his wife's certificate, which was branded Prue, which is everything. And it just made her inspired to carry on working, where the person who paid off their credit card, they're going to go on holiday next year, they're going to get another credit card debt. And they live for the rewards to pay off their debt. And I just
So to get any real value from it, you'd almost have to pay off their debt first and then give them cash on top to get any like future positive gain from that money for them.
talking.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about reward for sort of things that happen above and beyond. So obviously you've got your bonus structures and they're vital for retentions and stuff. But I'm talking about ad hoc, something a little bit more. And I just believe that you can do so many things where you keep your business, you keep the brand, and you keep reminding them of what they've done front of mind. And it doesn't always have to be cash. It could be certificates. It could be.
I think.
Go on.
I think that recognition for me has to be something more than something that a business is paying lip service to. It's got to be in context of a maybe a larger opportunity or some form of end in mind or something, because it's not just about chucking certificates at people. Like the recognition actually has to mean something to the person. It has to be meaningful. Like your lady in Vietnam and her husband, it was meaning to them, but who could get it just sits on the bottom shelf of their desk and never gets looked at, and therefore that recognition isn't a useful motivation tool for the business.
Yeah, definitely. I think what's fascinating for that kind of stuff we all know. So this year I got just some really it wasn't the monetary value. It was someone had gone out and made a real effort to find presents that meant something to me, and it's the thought that goes into, and that's a form of recognition. That's recognizing you as a person, that someone else wants to get you something that you know you're going to value. And again, I think when we look at recognition and stuff and we apply it to the business world, and again, when you go out and buy a present, you don't just, you go out with a purpose to buy a birthday present or a gift. It's not just, okay, there's a lot of us men who do just walk down the streets and go, I think they'd like that. But 9 times out of 10, even us men have got a rough idea of what we want to get, because it shows an element of thought. And I think we forget to apply that in business. Again, we don't actually put enough thought into what that individual, because also if you just give something that's universal and mundane, to be honest, it's telling you as a person that A, your manager or your business doesn't know you at all, and B, you're just part of a machine, you're a cog. Because it's if I buy 5, I'll get 1 free, therefore I'm going to save some money, rather than Mark is passionate about the bush, therefore let's get him a book on hiking in North America. Something that I'm going to look at and go, wow, you've given that so much thought. I'm really, really appreciative of that. And you can sign it on the inside and say, dear Mark, this recognition of the work you've done. I hope one day you're able to use some of the stuff in this book. And so I just think especially when you're starting off in a small business, it demonstrates a real understanding of your people if you're able to align their recognition with their hobbies, their passions, their values, rather than just doing a one-size-fits-all, which really demonstrates a lack of care and attention.
So it's about knowing your people and what their purpose is for being at work, the purpose beyond just cash.
100% exactly.
And in my experience, cash bonuses can produce quite high levels of short-term increases in performance, but they're not actually sustainable. I find that people go what I call ball to the wall for 2 to 3 months. They push 70-hour weeks, they go, and they achieve miracles afterwards. And that cycle isn't healthy for most businesses.
Yeah, 100% agree. And also a lot of people then they use that cash to sort of change their standard of living, and just becomes a bit of a vicious cycle. But that's a whole other debate.
So, about knowing your people and about providing them some recognition. And one of the most useful forms of recognition I've ever experienced has been the recognition where one of my bosses has come to me and suggested that the new job opportunity, the promotion that's available, why don't you apply for it? You're doing really good at what you're doing. And it's about that new opportunity, which I think is really, really important.
Yeah, it's about being noticed. It's about being noticed, and most of us just want to be heard, to be honest, isn't it? So if you come back from weekend into work and they go, "How's your weekend?" and you make a comment about what you did at the weekend, and after 2 months you've done a few things that are very similar, and then your boss goes, "I walked past the shop and I saw this and I thought you might like this because I hear you've been doing that kind of stuff." It's like, okay, I'm actually valuing it. I'm being heard. I'm being seen. So I just think as business owners, make sure that you ensure that your staff are heard and seen. And again, I'm talking about in a subtle way that they appreciate that it's congruent and it's from the heart and it's actually done with purpose. And I think again, it's be conscious in your business. Rob and I talk lots about consciousness in business because it's something that doesn't happen enough. And it's the attention to detail, attention to every aspect of your business, because in small businesses, they're all connected. You can't build businesses. It just cannot happen. So everything's connected. Everybody talks. Those things that you do as a business owner can have the biggest difference on your people and therefore your business. So don't underestimate the power that exists with small things.
Exactly. And for me, one of the things I just want to finish with really is one of the things that certainly you and I, Mark, hold most dearly to us is our time. And one of the things that I've always valued in terms of people who've offered me recognition is when somebody's given me their time just to buy me a cup of coffee, say thank you, and ask if they can help me with my career or help me with my progress or listen to what it is that my ideas are. And I think that we quite often think that people are after something more glamorous in terms of recognition or reward. And actually just sitting down with somebody who works for you, buying them a cup of coffee and listening to them for half an hour is often you're the first person who's ever done that for them.
Yeah, very powerful.
I think it's very, very powerful. Well, I think that's it from us this evening. We're going to bring a couple more episodes of Tetrakey TV to you tomorrow, hopefully with better internet, certainly from my end. Mark's getting all fancy with his internet in the next few weeks, which is quite exciting. Certainly a heads up tomorrow. I'm going to do an episode of Tetrakey TV on when everything changes but everything remains the same at the same time, and how that is within your performance cycles and why actually that's a block to people's performance. So that's it. I've got some more work to do for the next 45 minutes, so I'm going to carry on. And I guess, Mark, you're going to go and hide in a corner and sleep.
I need to go look after my sick child.
You go do that. All right. So good night from me.
I suppose good night from me as well.
Stay amazing.